The night sky was a canvas of ink, and beneath its velvet darkness, 1,000 tiny stars whispered secrets only the heart could hear. You've probably felt that same pull, that inexplicable tug when you see someone and know, deep inside, that their very presence feels like a déjà vu of your own longing. It's the sensation that the universe has a script, and you're an unwitting actor in a play you can't quite remember the lines to. Yet, for most of us, love remains a chaotic dance of chance, a series of random meetings that feel as if they were written in the margins of a diary we never read. Imagine walking down a street, passing a cafe, and the number on the window catches your eye, 27. Your mind, usually a rational place, flashes a memory. Your grandmother's birth date, your first kiss, the day you lost a cherished photograph. The number doesn't just sit there. It resonates, vibrating like a hidden frequency that aligns with something older, something deeper than the fleeting connection of a glance. You might dismiss it as coincidence, but the more you look, the more patterns emerge. The dates of your relationships, the times you call your partner, the numbers that appear on receipts and phones. It's as if the universe is leaving breadcrumbs, each one a clue to a larger, more profound truth. There is a dissonance here that many of us feel but rarely admit. The feeling that we are chasing something that is both beyond our control and yet within our grasp. You're not alone in wondering if there is a hidden code, a secret algorithm that maps your heart's desires onto the cosmos. It's a question that has haunted lovers, dreamers, and the seekers of all ages. What if there is a language that speaks to the soul, a language that can be read in numbers, symbols, and the subtle shifts of fate? In the past decade, I've watched countless people, friends, colleagues, even strangers, come to me with a simple request: I need to understand why I keep falling into the same patterns. Is there a way to read the signs? Their answers were often the same: a yearning for clarity, a desire to break free from the loop, and a craving for a deeper, more intentional way to navigate the labyrinth of love. They felt trapped by the invisible threads that tugged at them, yet they longed for a key that could unlock those threads. The problem is not that we are blind, it's that we are blind to the map. We see the forest but not the compass that points the way. We are living in a world where data is abundant, but meaning is scarce. Numbers, for all their precision, seem to have lost their soul. Yet, when you look closely, the universe has always used numbers as its language. An ancient code that predates written language and speaks directly to the subconscious mind. It is a code that, if deciphered, can reveal the hidden architecture of our destinies, the unspoken contracts we unknowingly sign, and the forces that shape our romantic journeys. This is where the darkness of the unknown meets the light of revelation. There is a realm where numerology is not merely a mystical pastime but a doorway into the hidden chambers of the psyche. It is a realm where the numbers that appear in our everyday life are not random. They are the echoes of archetypal energies, the fingerprints of the collective unconscious, and the silent prayers of the universe for us to listen. The question that haunts us all is, what if the numbers that dance around us are not just symbols, but keys to the doors that hold our deepest desires and deepest fears? We are about to embark on a journey that will take us beyond the ordinary. We will walk through the shadows of the numbers that haunt us, explore the silent dialogues between the conscious and the unconscious, and discover the hidden energies that influence every choice we make in love. It's a path that will challenge what you think you know about fate, destiny, and the way you connect with another soul. It will invite you to see the world not as a series of random coincidences, but as a tapestry woven with threads of meaning, each thread a number that carries a story. The night is still young, and the stars are waiting to reveal their secrets. Will you step into the darkness and let the numbers guide you? Or will you let the patterns remain a mystery, a silent echo in the chambers of your heart? The choice is yours, but the path ahead is illuminated by a light that has been waiting for you to look up and ask, what is the number that truly speaks to you? When the moon hangs low and the city's neon glow flickers like distant fireflies, consider the moment when a lover's name first entered your thoughts. Write down the exact date, day, month, year, and reduce each component to a single digit by adding the individual digits until only one remains. The resulting figure is more than a mere calculation. It becomes a mirror that reflects the core of that connection, the rhythm your heart will dance to. Imagine this number as a musical note that harmonizes with your own inner symphony, a tone that either resonates or clashes with the vibration of your soul. Now, think about the other side of that harmony. Every number carries a shadow, a counterpoint that tempers the light. If the number you derived is 4, the archetype of structure and order emerges, yet the shadow whispers of rigidity and fear of change. Recognizing this duality invites you to balance the desire for stability with the need for spontaneity. In practice, when you feel the urge to cling to routine, ask whether the shadow of 4 is nudging you to explore new horizons, to loosen the grip of predictability. Consider the subtle synchronicities that surface when two people encounter the same number at the same moment. Picture a couple walking past a street lamp that flashes 13, and both pause, eyes widening as the number appears on their phones at the same instant. This shared numerical echo is not random. It is the universe's way of saying, you are aligned. In such moments, the number becomes a silent witness, confirming the authenticity of the bond. Embrace these encounters as checkpoints on your journey, markers that help you gauge whether your path is truly aligned with your partners. To weave numerology into the fabric of daily life, start a simple ritual. Each night before sleep, jot down the number that dominated your day, whether it was the time you met someone, the price you paid, or the number that appeared on a receipt. Over weeks, patterns will emerge like constellations, revealing the hidden currents that guide your emotional tides. When a particular digit surfaces repeatedly, pause and reflect on the emotions it stirs. Does it evoke excitement, dread, or calm? These feelings are the language your unconscious uses to communicate with you. Relationships, much like celestial bodies, follow cycles. By comparing your life path number with your partner's, you can anticipate periods of growth or tension. If both share a 7, their connection may be introspective and philosophical, inviting deep conversations. Conversely, a 2 and a 9 together can spark a dance between compassion and detachment, pushing each to confront their need for emotional security versus the urge to release. By mapping these numbers, you gain a compass that points toward potential friction points and, more importantly, toward the opportunities for mutual evolution. When a number repeatedly surfaces, say, the recurring 8, it may be a summons to examine the power dynamics in your relationship. The 8's energy of abundance and authority can reveal underlying struggles with control or generosity. Use this insight as a catalyst for shadow work. Ask yourself whether you are imposing limits or allowing your partner to flourish. This reflective practice transforms numerical coincidences into profound self-awareness, turning the ordinary into a sacred dialogue. As you navigate the labyrinth of love, let the numbers serve as lanterns, illuminating hidden chambers within your psyche. They are not prophecies but invitations, an open door to deeper understanding. Each digit is a conversation waiting to be heard, a story yearning to be told. Will you listen to the silent symphony that pulses beneath your everyday moments, or will you let the music fade into silence? In the quiet hush that follows every revelation, the heart begins to stitch the disparate threads of insight into a single, resonant tapestry. Imagine each concept as a distinct color, some bright, some muted, each hue bleeding into the next, forming a gradient that cannot be reduced to a single shade. It is in this blending that the true power of the journey unfurls, for the interplay between light and shadow, intention and surrender, becomes the living pulse that guides the way forward. When you stand at the crossroads of understanding, the path no longer appears as a straight line but as a winding river, its current shaped by the unseen forces that have been quietly steering you all along. The water, reflecting the sky's ever-changing moods, mirrors the fluidity of your own emotional landscape, reminding you that every ripple, every surge, is part of a larger, orchestrated dance. The river's bend is not a detour but an invitation to explore depths previously uncharted, to let the current carry you beyond familiar shores. Consider the way that the unseen threads of destiny and the tangible patterns of daily life intertwine like vines around a sturdy trunk. The vines, though separate in origin, share the same soil, the same light, and the same need for nourishment. As they grow, they support one another, creating a canopy that offers shelter and guidance. In the same way, the subtle energies you have encountered weave themselves into the fabric of your relationships, each strand reinforcing the next, forming a resilient, living structure that can weather storms and celebrate triumphs alike. You might feel, at this juncture, as though you are standing on the precipice of a vast, uncharted expanse. The horizon stretches beyond the visible, inviting you to step into the unknown with curiosity rather than fear. The anticipation is not a mere longing for what lies ahead but a deep, almost instinctual recognition that the next chapter is already being written, guided by the very forces you have just begun to understand. It is as if the universe is handing you a blank page, but the ink is already flowing, guided by the rhythm of your own heartbeats. This moment of poised anticipation is the fulcrum upon which the entire narrative balances. The weight of the past, the clarity of the present, and the promise of the future coalesce here, forming a fulcrum that can either tip the scale toward stagnation or launch you toward purposeful action. It is a delicate equilibrium, one that invites you to let go of the need to control every detail, and instead, trust the underlying currents that have been at work all along. As you breathe in this space, the layers of insight begin to coalesce like a mosaic, each piece fitting seamlessly into the next. The patterns that once seemed disjointed now form a coherent whole, revealing a landscape that is both familiar and new. The path forward is not a single line but a series of interconnected pathways, each leading to a different facet of your growth. The anticipation that lingers is not a promise of certainty, but a call to remain open, to let curiosity guide your steps, and to recognize that every choice you make is a brushstroke on the evolving canvas of your destiny. Reflecting on this journey so far, you realize that the true transformation lies not in the destination but in the act of moving itself. The momentum you have gathered, the awareness you have cultivated, and the subtle shifts you have already begun to feel are the seeds of a future that is both inevitable and entirely yours to shape. The anticipation that now swells within you is a quiet, steady drumbeat, echoing the rhythm of the cosmos and the pulse of your own heart, urging you forward into the next, unwritten chapter of your story. The night's hush settles over you like a velvet shroud, and within that quiet, the numbers you have traced through your love story become more than mere digits. They become a living language, a map of the hidden currents that have guided you all along. Each figure, once a simple calculation, now speaks of archetypal forces. The disciplined 4, the introspective 7, the boundless 9, each echoing a part of your own psyche and that of the one you share your life with. The realization that these numbers are not random whispers but intentional signals is the moment when the veil lifts, and you see that the cosmos has always been speaking in a tongue you have been learning to understand. In the dance of destiny, the interplay between light and shadow is what gives depth to the rhythm of your partnership. When the luminous side of a number invites you to embrace structure, the shadow side reminds you to remain flexible, to allow the heart's wild currents to flow. This duality is not a contradiction but a harmonious duet, a reminder that love thrives when the conscious and unconscious, the rational and the intuitive, meet in quiet conversation. The numbers you encounter are the pauses in that dialogue, the breaths that give rhythm to the narrative of your shared journey. The practice of listening to these numerical cues transforms the ordinary into a sacred ritual. Each time a familiar digit appears, pause and ask, what is the universe asking of me? What shadow has been cast? And what light can I bring to it? By turning each coincidence into a moment of inquiry, you invite the hidden energies of the universe into your daily life, allowing them to guide you toward deeper intimacy, clearer boundaries, and a more authentic expression of love. In doing so, you do not surrender to fate. You become the co-author of your destiny, co-creating a story that reflects both your aspirations and your deepest fears. The insight that emerges from this synthesis is simple yet profound. The universe does not hand you a script, it offers a mirror. The numbers you see are reflections of the patterns you already carry within. When you recognize that, you begin to see the invisible threads that bind your past, present, and future. You learn that every choice you make, every conversation you hold, is a ripple in a vast, interconnected pond. The ripples of your actions influence not only your own path, but also the currents that guide the hearts you touch. As you step forward, the world no longer feels like a series of random events. It becomes a tapestry woven from intention and synchronicity. Your relationship, once a fragile dance of chance, now stands on a foundation built by the quiet wisdom of numbers and the deep, resonant truths of your inner archetypes. The mystery that once seemed distant becomes an intimate companion, urging you to explore, to question, to grow. The true practice begins now, in the moment you choose to listen, to reflect, and to act. Let the numbers be your compass, but let your heart be the vessel that carries you toward the unknown. Embrace the shadows as guides, the light as companions, and the synchronicities as invitations to step deeper into the dance. In this unfolding, you will find that the path to love is not a destination but a continuous conversation with the universe, a dialogue that invites you to keep asking, keep listening, and keep moving forward.